Welcome back to beautiful Montreal, the site of one of the great rivalries in all of sports. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's the Montreal Canadiens, separated by just 2 points in the Atlantic Division as we get ready for a big matchup tonight. It will be great, and one line to keep an eye on, Phil Kessel, Tyler Bozak, James Van Riemsdyk. They've been lighting it up in the last 10 games, combining for 16 goals and 41 points. Should be a great one tonight. Let's get you set. PA announcer Michel Lacroix gets us set for the anthem.
Mesdames, Messieurs, nous nous tournons vers vous pour entonner ce soir notre hymne national. Veuillez vous joindre aux autres partisans au Centre Bell pour chanter le Haut-Canada, accompagné à l'orgue par Madame Diane Bibeau. Ladies and gentlemen, to perform the national anthem tonight, we turn to you. Please join your fellow fans here at the Bell Centre in the singing of O Canada, accompanied on the organ by Mrs. Diane Bibeau.
Now for the call, Bob Cole and Craig Simpson. Gentlemen.
Good evening, everybody. So Toronto and Montreal hook up for the 4th time this season. They'll meet on one more time, March 22nd. Leafs lead 2-1. Jonathan Bernier gets the assignment in this very important game versus Montreal. He had a rough game against the Islanders on Thursday, but he hopes for a better showing in front of family and friends here at the Bell Centre. With Carey Price out, Peter Budaj makes his 3rd straight start. Budaj has a 3-1 record in 5 career games against the Maple Leafs. Referees for the game, Brad Watson. With him, Kyle Raymond. On the lines, Mike Speak and Don Henderson. The Leafs in the white jerseys come to center ice with Bozak, Kessel, and Van Riemsdyk on the wings. Phaneuf and Gunnarsson are the 2 defensemen. Yemel and Markov on the blue line for the Canadiens in the home red. Desharnais at center ice, Gallagher and Wright. Pacioretty on the left side. And here we go from the Bell Centre in Montreal. Montreal and Toronto. Canadiens win the draw. Markov sliding a light pass across the ice. From center, it is shot high and out of play and off we go, only to be halted with the puck out of play.
Yeah, you know the importance of this game, Bob, and the atmosphere here with this intense rivalry. This crowd saw a Wednesday night home game where the Montreal Canadiens were a little listless against the Detroit Red Wings. Came back, both these teams looking for a real spark in what has become such a great rivalry again this year.
Imagine 6 seconds in and we get line changes. Face off outside the Montreal blue line. Desharnais at center ice, trying to hook it back with a skate. Did a pretty good job of it. Subban backed it up around his own net for Georges, and then was nailed behind the net. Collision with Clarkson of the Maple Leafs. A sign of maybe things to come this Saturday night.
Absolutely, Bob. Right on cue. The festivities start, and no exception. You know what the role is. You mentioned a 6-second shift, and you get a change of the matchup. Right off the face-off, it was Clarkson with Pacioretty going after each other. Nothing happened there, but as soon as the puck went through into the Montreal zone, a great job of Clarkson getting in and getting a lick on PK Subban with a hard hit.
Bozak steps on again for Toronto. Van Riemsdyk and Kessel. The draw goes ahead. And Kessel gives chase over there. Took his man in on the boards. Couldn't stop Gallagher. He hooked the pass to center to Desharnais. Passed it off on this side, and Georgia's first shot of the game. Right to Bernier. And he'll hang on.
Well, you mentioned off the top, Bernier getting an opportunity in front of family and friends to have another chance to win in a building that he has yet to be able to conquer. And you think of his position firmly planted as the #1 guy as Randy Carlyle goes right back to him after giving up 5 goals on the hour.
Desharnais stays on with Pacioretty to his left. Gallagher in the right side. Canadians, every man up with the face-off right there. To the right of Bernier. Into the corner and a scramble for it. Phaneuf got the puck around the net to the other side. Van Riemsdyk didn't have much room over there. The Canadians forechecking hard. Phaneuf was on the puck, got it ahead. Kessel lost it on the attempted pass at center ice, and the Canadians back it up. Come back and pick it up, and Pacioretty did that. A good pass to Gallagher to the right side. Gallagher in front of the net. No puck coming to him. He goes after it. In the corner and back to the line. A long shot that's way wide of the net. Might have hit something going to the goal. Got way wide anyway, and Kessel was forced to turn around at his own blue line. Canadians are changing. Phaneuf saw a man open. Van Riemsdyk couldn't knock it down. He heads off. He did pivot. No icing then. And the Canadians back to pick it up. Just underway at the Bell Center, centering pass. Not good. Clarkson couldn't get there in time. And it's bounced down the ice again. And the goalie Bernier saw the no icing sign, so he got out of the net. Canadians nearly got caught. Leafs are in, but offside. Gardner carried the puck in well, but to his right-hand side was Kadri offside.
Always interesting to see what the matchup is going to look like. And here early on, Michel Therrien going strength against strength. The top line, Desharnais going up against this line, which has been so effective since the return of Bozak. You can see the numbers in the offensive production from this trio. So Desharnais' line, the best offensive line for Montreal. They're going to have to play some D against the top Toronto line.
And now Craig Peter Holland comes on. He's number 24 for the Maple Leafs. Inserted in the lineup, he has Raymond and Kuhlman on the wings. Maple Leafs dump it to center, chopped in toward the net. Budaj out to play it, and to hurry that and did a good job with it. Moan, little short pass didn't work, so he picked it up himself, then lost it, got it back again, tapped it in over the line, but Briere couldn't pull that skate back, and he's offside.
Well, already we've seen juggling at both benches. As mentioned, the matchup for the Montreal Canadiens. Well, Randy Carlyle wanted to make sure that his fourth line got a shift early on, so he went up against the fourth line of the Canadiens. So what does Therrien do? Makes a change, and the head coach for Toronto says, our fourth line's got to change against the Desharnais line.
Face off. Clement for the Maple Leafs won it. And they get going, but the pass was missed at center ice. No icing. Canadians back to start it off. That long pass again. Didn't quite work this time either. Phaneuf stick handled his way a bit. Put it on the glass and got the puck out of the zone for Kessel coming in. Kessel on with the brakes. Tried to shove it over in front of the net. And again he had a chance, and he missed that second opportunity. Dion Phaneuf, good pass ahead. Knocked in over the line by Van Riemsdyk. Canadians get it out. This is a pretty good pace to start this hockey game. Here in the first period, Desharnais falls, and there's going to be the first penalty of the hockey game.
Right on cue, you've got arguing going on as Dion Phaneuf coming down low. Look at the stick between the legs. Desharnais trying to stop up along the boards. Phaneuf trying to avoid the penalty, but no chance there, as clearly the stick got caught. And the game's first power play goes to the Montreal Canadiens.
And it's a tripping call against the Leaf captain. Canadiens power play. 12th in the National Hockey League. Here at home, not so hot. 21st. It'll be Briere who'll try to win the face-off. Drop it fairly. Linesman hollered at the two of them in there. Now he's ready to go. Got control. Slammed on the boards by Gleason. It did get out. Calling it again at that blue line.
Well, one thing that the Leafs have had their ups and downs on their penalty kill throughout the year, but they've been pretty good. Only 2 power play goals against the last 7. PK Subban already getting an earful early on from the Toronto bench, and as always, Bob, he's at the center of everything. He's laughing it off now. He'd like nothing more than to put one in the back of the net.
He's got the puck on the face-off win. Gave it to Markov to shoot it in. Maple Leafs are all back though. Chance to clear right away. Stopped by Markov out the blue line. Can he keep it in? No. Apparently, a high stick made contact with the puck, and that stops the play.
That's the one thing you want to see on the penalty kill, a little aggressive play, and that's a tough play for Markov, standing still at the line, not able to keep the puck in, but worried about the Leafs going back on an odd man situation and getting a chance shorthanded.
We're 5 seconds short, Craig. Of the 3-minute mark, we've had just 1 shot on goal. Canadians own that one. That was from a long way out. Well, the Canadians on the power play now hope to get it better. It has been up the center ice. Markov slides the pass ahead. Galchenyuk was offside ahead of the play, and they'll bring it back again.
You see this tandem on the back end with Markov on the left side and PK Subban. Obviously, Markov, the guy who's going to deliver the puck. Subban, the guy who you want to shoot. So much has been made of this last game where Subban sat on the bench for a good portion of the third period. Only 30 seconds in the overtime, but you know he's going to get an awful lot of ice time, and he has early on here in this game.
Has the puck again to start him off. Markov had to make a quick pass. Pacioretty shot it to the far side. Gallagher let it roll back. The Leafs pick it up again, and it's cleared off the boards and down the ice by Kuhlman. Penalty time remaining is 1:16 as the Canadians pick it up. Subban again got the puck across center for Desharnais. He flipped it in. He eluded a hit going after it. Pacioretty comes in to help for the Canadians. Knocked the puck off the boards. Desharnais couldn't get a stick on it. It's cleared out and down the ice, and the Leafs are doing a good job so far. 55 seconds left in the penalty. First one of the game. The Leaf captain in the box for tripping. No score. Canadians get the puck in. Pacioretty couldn't find it along the boards, but it comes to the line to Subban. Here's Markov. Subban in a good spot. Had to get rid of it. It was covered. Another shot is blocked and cleared by Van Riemsdyk. Leafs look very patient killing this off.
Yeah, and they've done a nice job of following up the pressure on 2 men up top, and there was no chance for Subban to get a puck through.
No shot on goal yet on this power play. But here come the Canadians looking good on this pass. Off the boards to the line. Kept in by Georges. Along the boards again. Georges tried to back off, hoping the puck would come loose for him. And it does not. Stays in there deep. Leeson took a swing at it. Georges stopped it at the line. Here's the shot. That's deflected way high. Penalty is over. They had no shots on goal on that power play, the first of the game, and there's no score yet. Enough dumping the puck in and heading off to the bench. Coming up to the 5-minute mark. Shots in the game. Montreal 1, Toronto 0. But it's a good pace nevertheless. Now the fans chime in and try to get them going. Good crowd in from Toronto for this game. This is Eller coming out for Canadians. Checked right away, but got the puck ahead. We stuffed it in deeper and behind the net, and the Leafs pick it up. They're all back. Now they move on. Down to center ice, the pass by Lupul got in deep. Nobody in to pick that up. It was too far. The Canadians coming out. Down to the line and center ice is Bourque. Shot the puck in. Weiss comes up. Can't push his man off the puck. Good forechecking by the Canadians though. Bourque knocked it into the corner, and the Leafs are going to clear it. At the blue line is David Clarkson. Left it right there for Nazem Kadri. He's knocked down. The Leaf fans, you can hear them. They wanted a penalty called. Nothing coming except the Canadians on the attack. Gallagher knocked down. Rebound right in front of the net. Pacioretty was wide open, and he was stopped by Bernier. That's the best scoring chance so far in this game. And the shots are yet Canadians 2 and Toronto nothing. But a pretty good start to this hockey game from the Bell Center in Montreal. Bob Cole with Craig Simpson. Craig, what have we got something going already?
Well, we're looking at matchups. If you're going to have Desharnais playing against Bozak, here's another center matchup here. Kadri gets knocked down. doesn't get a penalty, but goes right back to a physical play, and Eller knocks him down. So we'll watch that as it transpires throughout the game. The best chance of the game, though, Pacioretty, but calmly Bernier tracks that pass across. Pacioretty off balance, tried to sneak it under the blocker, but a good early save by Jonathan Bernier.
Pacioretty with 27 goals in the season. He has 39 points, tied for first with the Canadiens, Subban. That's in the scoring for the team. Leafs, of course, have Phil Kessel up on top. He's on the ice now, hoping the puck will come out to him. And it does. Couldn't pick it up, though. Was right on his stick there in front of his own goal. Back comes Bozak. Behind the net, he lost it. Eller tied up his man. Canadians are forcing the play a bit, though, inside that lead line. Markov knocked it down for the Canucks. Backhands the puck in, heads off. Bennett will take care of things back there for Kessel. He played it through the middle. Bozak to the wing with it. They get in all right. Van Riemsdyk saw a hit coming and had to back off. Bozak after, right back to the line. The shot was off a skate and wide of the net. It'll be cleared out to center ice. Slapped into the zone for Moan to come in. Leeson stepped in front of him. Puck loose to the far side. It'll be Briere who'll stop it. Winds up from there and took the shot easily blocked. Kessel starts off. He was stopped dead in his tracks and really couldn't get going before he would have been checked, so we got rid of it. Still no score in this first period. Shots 3-0. Montreal. Budaj waiting for some action. He might get it here. The Leafs are forechecking hard. Puck comes to the corner, though, and lifted away on the glass, out and down the ice. Will it reach the line? Of course it does. And that's icing against the Canadiens.
Well, the one thing you have to know as an opponent is who you're on the ice against. And Jens Van Riemsdyk understands that 76 is on the ice. A lot of times he'd try to drive that wide and get it past his man, but Subban was coming across with his signature hip check, and Van Riemsdyk saw him at the last second, held up and dumped the puck in, and then battled to the front of the net.
McClement on there. He has Bodie to the right along the boards. That'll switch as he's thrown out. Bodie will come in to take the faceoff. McLaren is the third man on that Leaf line. Canadians win the draw anyway and get the puck out to Moen. The center ice, he was checked, but got the puck in deep as Morgan Riley stepped into him. Now the Leafs. Deep in the zone. Leeson comes on. Drops it for Riley. Comes up with a long pass down that far side. Dumped into the zone by Gleason. He just slipped away from a hit that might be coming. Aaron nearly got in front, lost it at the last second. And the Canadians come to center. This is Weiss coming in hard. And offside was Eller. He expected a pass. It didn't come, and offside is the call, and look out. There's bad blood between these two teams, methinks, and it nearly exploded right there.
This is the group to do it as well. Tenorti tried a big check earlier on, just barely missed. Good battles in front with Dale Weiss in front of the Montreal net, and you can tell that things are going to happen. Gleason takes exception, goes back at him, has a little push and shove, and that's what you expect when these two teams play. Everybody gets involved.
Well, Craig, after the Olympics, you know, we're right back to it. And look around the league, folks. The races are dynamite with 20 games left for these two after tonight.
And right now, you really know once you get to that 20-game mark, the games just fall off like water down the drain. It's amazing how quickly it goes. And these two teams, 2 points separating them in the playoff spot. A chance to not have to be fighting for that wild card. So important this game is in the season.
And everybody is talking about it. Every point is so hard to get, and every point is so huge. This is another game. These two are almost knotted. And every point is so important. Two big ones up for grabs again tonight at the Bell Center in Montreal. The sellout crowd. Puck comes to Budaj, went high. Everybody talks about this being an unfortunate call, but it happens occasionally, and here's another time it has just happened.
Well, credit Bozak for making this happen. You can see the frustration from Budaj, but it's the effort of Bozak. Gets behind Desharnais. He's coming in quickly, so there aren't a lot of options. and Budaj just let that one get away from him. So the Toronto Maple Leafs, after killing one early on here, get a gift. I mean, this is one, too, that Bob sometimes is a little harder to kill off. A bad penalty sometimes ends up coming back and biting you.
And they're on a pretty good power play run. They're third in the National Hockey League, nearly 22% efficiency. No score in the game, the Leafs power play. And they line it up with Phaneuf off the heel of a stick. Didn't get very far and easily cleared down the ice by the Canadians. Dion Phaneuf back to pick it up and gets a pass off the boards right away. Down across center they go. Franson brings it in. Canadians intercept again, send them back once more. All the way down the ice. That's 25 seconds off the penalty time. And Phaneuf back to start it off once more. Through the middle he comes. Takes a look ahead. Had to hurry the pass. Made it good for Bozak. Got it centered all right. Broken up by Pacioretty. And cleared out to the center ice area. Phaneuf picked it up. Had his own blue line. He's bodied over there. And the Canadians get the puck again. And Pacioretty tried to backhand it down the ice. It was blocked. Leafs try to get it going. They're offside. Cannot get anything going. Bozak had carried in, but Franson was a step or two ahead of him.
Much like we saw the Leafs being aggressive on their penalty kill. Montreal the same. They've been solid over their previous 8 games, just allowing 2, but the last 2 since coming back in, they've given up 3 on 6 attempts. So here early on, a good confidence builder for Michel Therrien, attacking the Leafs, not allowing them to get set up and get the shots they want.
1:06 left on the penalty, and the Leafs have played almost half a period and have not had a shot on goal. Canadians have had only 3. Yemen steals the puck. Ahead it goes. Came off the stick of Plekanec, and he got it. Wrap around. Backhander is wide on the short side. Plekanec's always dangerous in there for the Canadians. Lupul got the puck down the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs on the boards. And Raymond is stopped dead in his tracks. Up here to Lupul, though, with a good pass, but he had to back up. The Leafs trying to find a way to get in there, and they're not doing a very good job of it. The goalie touched it. That got free to Tenorti. He backhanded the puck ahead. The Canadians are killing it off. And it's rolled down the ice again. 24 seconds left in the penalty. No shots on goal by the Maple Leafs on this power play. Canadians had a power play earlier, 0 shots. Phaneuf sets it up. Back to the line it comes. Riley. He left it for Phaneuf. Into the side of the net. That's broken up in there. Penalty down to 5 seconds. Leafs get the puck back to Dion Phaneuf over here to Riley. Riley takes a look. He's covered. They got ahead. Padrias stopped. And down the ice for the Canadians. They've killed it off and got the puck in. Henry came back to pick it up and lifted the puck up across center. But now Subban. Hard pass to handle, but he got it up off the boards down the ice. That didn't get too deep inside that Maple Leaf blue line. Now it's hooked in high. 9 minutes left in the opening period here in Montreal. The sellout crowd waiting for something to happen goal-wise. Nothing so far, and the Leafs have yet to get a shot on goal. Defensive play, it's mentioned right in front of the net. They come back to Markov. He missed the goal with a low shot. Van Riemsdyk gets the puck down the ice. He tried to hit Kessel, missed him. It's icing against Toronto.
Well, you mentioned no shots on goal still for the Leafs after that power play, but some anxious moments after giving up 2 shorthanded goals on Long Island there. Gardner a little too calm and cool behind his own net, turns the puck over. Not hard enough on the puck. Plekanec had a chance for maybe to continue on the wraparound, tried to go back to his backhand, and the Toronto Maple Leafs dodged a bullet there.
They saw in the big circle to the left of Jonathan Bernier. Plekanec won it neatly back to Subban. Faked the shot, then wristed the puck near the net, hoping for a deflection. Nothing happened. Canadians stay in. Plekanec tried to hook it ahead. The play had been whistled dead. A hand pass stopping the play. 8:29 remaining in the first.
Well, welcome back. Time now for our Hockey Night buyout presented by Subway Restaurants. Cody Franzen, born in Sicamous, BC. You thought he might be a Canucks fan? Well, he had no choice but to be a Leaf fan. 1 month old, look, indoctrinated, already wearing the Leaf jersey. It's not his parents, though, Cal and Karen, that are the biggest fans. The man there with the goalie glove, his uncle Chris, the biggest Leaf fan, according to Cody, in the world. Everything in his house has the Leaf logo on it. There he is with his uncle Chris. He said when he was traded from Nashville to Toronto, the very first call Cody made wasn't to his parents, wasn't to his girlfriend, it was to his uncle Chris, and said, your dream came true, I am now a Leaf. Bob?
Okay, David, 8:25 remaining in the first period. Miller takes a decent hit, but he gets up and comes after the puck. He's in around that net. Miller tried to one-hand it back to the blue line, now tries to back it up a little deeper and does a pretty good job along the boards. However, Riley got in there for Toronto and lost it. Reese left it right there, got it back. Around the net it comes. Bourque trying to dig it out, back to the line. It goes, long shot, tipped in front of the goal, but wide. And the Leafs hang on. Canadians are beating the Toronto Maple Leafs to the puck. That was Eller, good shift for him. Bourque on the backhand, hit the side of the net as Bernier was on the post. And the Leafs kept the puck ahead in their own zone, but not out yet. Eller ready, delivers a pass. Good move. Subban back pass, out to the line, tipped in front, and what a save by Jonathan Bernier. Got the glove down, but the Canadians looked awfully sharp inside that blue line, and that's a great save by Bernier.
Right from the start of this shift, it was a hard work shift. They took the body, they won the puck battles, and then this is just an excellent read by Bernier. Through traffic in front, you could see Bourque had good position, Kadri in the way, but he read it perfectly, followed that tip, and that was a perfectly placed shot by Georges to get that tip, and Bourque looks skyward, can't believe that didn't go in.
Canis is in on this face-off, and he's been pretty good for the Canadians in that department. And he wins another one for them. Markov's shot, blocked by Bernier, went up high over the glass into the netting. Murder makes a special appearance at a bachelorette party as Murdoch Mysteries returns. Watch an all-new episode Monday night at 8 on CBC television.
Well, Bob, at some point here, the Maple Leafs on the bench have to look up and still no shots, 7:29 left. And somebody's got to take the initiative to get the puck down at the other end and make Peter Budaj work. Carey Price not in again.
6-0 the shots on the board for the Canadians. Both teams coming close. Goal! Galchenyuk just turned and fired the puck. And the Canadians get on the board first, 1-0.
Montreal Canadiens have owned the face-off dot 60% so far in this game. This was a puck battle that was won by the Leafs, but again, they don't get it out. An errant pass in front, and watch Plekanec at the last second get in the vision of Bernier. A spinorama shot that gets a little bit of a tip off the stick of Riley in front, and no chance at all for Bernier. The timing of Plekanec was perfect. He takes away the vision right there. Bernier goes down and goes underneath his block.
1-0 Montreal on their 7th shot of the period. Alex Galchenyuk, what a difference he has made to this team since coming back from an injury. The Leafs start attacking right away. Raymond's shot hit a skate, comes back to the blue line. Phaneuf took a shot, that missed the net. Not by much, but it missed, however, off the boards. In there is Peter Holland. He lost it along the boards and is back down the ice, and Pacioretty is coming in. Got another shot away. Bernier stopped the first one. He nearly got the second. Slipped by him. Great speed by Max Pacioretty. Flying in that time. Pass comes to the blue line. Shoved into the corner by Subban. He waits back there, and Desharnais kicked the puck loose back of the goal against Gunnarsson. Up steps Georges. Georges fed it in around the net, and here comes Subban again. tries to come out front. The wraparound, changes his mind, comes all the way with it. Subban at the net with the pass. Another one back to the line. Desharnais, Subban, Desharnais. Back out to the line maybe. No, he goes ahead. And now it comes to Georges. All Canadians looking stronger. A backhander score. Pacioretty got the backhander away. The Canadians look awfully sharp. And are leading 2-0.
This Montreal crowd was dying to get on their feet. They didn't get it on Wednesday, but this is just a great sequence of puck support, quick puck movement. Look at the white sweaters all standing still, not winning battles, a little bit late, not quite there, and another spinorama. A tough one for Bernier again. This one's even harder as a backhander, and a perfectly placed shot by Pacioretty. A tough read for the goaltender with traffic in front. The LASIK MD cam from the net shows it all, and that one dips underneath the glove of Bernier.
2-0 Montreal. They were so excited passing the puck around inside that Toronto blue line. You just had a feeling that something was going to burst. And the Canadians now have 2 goals, and the Leafs fight back here. The puck is kicked into the corner, and back to the line it comes. Franson goes rink wide with it. No shot yet. Franson steps up, faked the shot. Plummer got the pass back. Gardner didn't want to shoot it. There's the shot, finally to Budaj. And he makes the save, his first of the game, with 5:20-something left to play in this first period. Pacioretty from Georges at 14:02. 2 goals by the Canadians in 1 minute and 22 seconds. 2-0. 5 minutes left. The first in Montreal. The Leafs on the puck is Clarkson. Put a pass over on the boards and comes in himself. It's stopped over there by Kadri. He turns one way, then the other, dangerously close at the blue line. But he flipped it ahead, and the Canadians get it out near the line, not clear. Lupul shoots. He hit the goal post. Lupul with a good, hard wrist shot, hit the post. And it's cleared down the ice. It's an icing call against Montreal. The Leafs come that close.
They finally get a shot on goal, and then the one that's not going to count as a shot was almost deadly is Lupul on a good little run there. He's got 3 goals in his last 6, and he lets this one fly over the glove. Beats Budaj, but can't quite get it off the post and in. Just another millimeter below, and that might have gone down. A well-placed shot by Lupul from a dangerous spot.
Galchenyuk's 11th. Pacioretty's 28th. The Canadians lead 2-0. Bourque steps on the puck after the face-off win, tossed it ahead and was nailed at center ice. He barely gets back to his skates. Is he okay? It appears he is. Stays on. Enough carries in over the line. Bozak gets set, shoots right on. Big rebound, comes all the way back to Phaneuf again. Another pass in front, big save right there by Budaj. He's down, and he finds the puck and hangs on to it with 4:05 left to play in the first period. Canadians get goals from Galchenyuk and then Pacioretty 1 minute 22 seconds later. 2-0 Montreal.
2 quick goals by the Montreal Canadiens. Got this building rocking, very similar in the crease area. Slot, a little turnaround by Galchenyuk off the stick of Riley. Another quick backhander beats Bernier with traffic in front by Pacioretty. And then on the doorstep, Phil Kessel, tap, wants the puck, gets one chance at it, and a nice job coming across Peter Budaj, who hasn't been busy in this one yet, Bob, but he made a nice save there to keep it a 2-goal game.
And big Mike Speak leans in to drop the puck in that big circle to the right of Budaj. Kessel fights it off. Got the puck ahead near the net. Markovic stopped that. Long pass did not click down the ice, and that's an icing call against the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, if the Toronto Maple Leafs get back in this game, you got to think that Phil Kessel will have something to do with that. Another 30-goal season, and amazingly, he just continues a strong run. You look at the last 3 seasons, only Malkin has more points than Kessel, and albeit only one more, and he's about the hottest player in the National Hockey League right now, and coming back since the Olympic break. He had a goal and assist in New York to keep the good times going.
These two are even in games, but Canadians have 2 points more than the Toronto Maple Leafs. Take your game to the next level with Hockey Night Second Screen. Interact and compete for prizes. Be a part of our broadcast. Join us at cbcsports.ca/second screen.
And Bob, with Tampa winning today too, it just brings everybody so close together. They have 73 points like the Canadians. The Leafs 2 points back at 71. This is getting that time of year where you're scoreboard watching every single day.
Tighter and tighter. Pacioretty is up there near center ice. What a great skater he is with the Canadians on that wing. And through the middle. He's on this play. It's brought in Gallagher to Pacioretty to the line. Hard shot and stop from the blue line. George has got good wood on that shot. Blasted it high too. Now he's back in his own zone. Stopping Nazem Kadri. Back to the goal. Kadri stays there looking for it. It's hooked loose to Pacioretty again. Strides once or twice and now gets some speed up. Cuts in, trying to get inside. Couldn't do it. He tried to pull the puck around the defender. Couldn't quite pull it off. The Indians backed up and get the puck at center, and in deep it goes again thanks to Weiss. Shot in front of the net. And Van Riemsdyk had to clear it to center ice. Kind of a blind pass. Kessel couldn't find it. The Canadians line up to come again. Down the center, the pass got into Bork. He nearly got inside, put up, did, but lost the puck to Gunnarsson, and he just flipped it ahead. Shot to center, right back to Kessel. Another dandy pass by him down the ice. Here's right in front of the net. Wide open was Bozak, and then it got even freer on the other side. Nobody could touch it. Score! Now, don't ask me how that got in. It might have been tipped by Van Riemsdyk in front. He was standing there, not looking at the net, mind you, and the puck came from the boards, and it might have hit him.
Well, so much attention was on the first chance by Bozak that he had an opportunity. Good stretch pass in the neutral zone, cross seam, and instead of going across, he tried the quick shot. And it's the Canadians who turned the puck over this time, as he's been all year long. Van Riemsdyk, what a deflection there between his legs. A tough play to make in tight. And for Budaj, just a little bit late getting to his post. You could see his reaction there. He started to get wrapping on the post to get himself solid. He wasn't expecting that shot to come so quickly from Phil Kessel. But almost an impossible angle for Van Riemsdyk to put that one in.
Like I said, he was looking away from the net, but knew where it was, and he made that connection with his stick. A beautiful tip in by Van Riemsdyk and gets the Leafs right back in the game. Canadians up 2-0, coming close to making it 3-0 once or twice, but now the Leafs kept that goal, and it's a brand new one.
And after taking almost 15 minutes to get their first shot, they now have 6. And more importantly, Van Riemsdyk, his career season just continues. There's the errant wraparound there by Yumlin, can't get it in. Quick shot from the boards as goes through the legs of the Montreal defender and right on that stick to fool Budaj from James Van Riemsdyk.
His 25th goal of the season, Craig. And he was right there to make a professional move on tipping the puck past the goalie. Canadians get a 2-on-1 shaping up quickly. Coming in. Drop pass. And the shot is stopped by Bernier. Gianna had a great chance to go to the net. Now he's after the puck over there. Knocked it loose for Plekanec, who was up on that last play with him. Now the Leafs get a 2-on-1. They could tie the game. And that's rifled high and wide of the net by Mason Raymond. All the way back to center ice. Onside was Gianna to tip it in deeper.
And 2 bad pinches. One, a turnover by the Leafs at the offensive line, created a 2-on-1, and then a bad pinch by the Canadians.
Here's Lupul coming on now. He can't get loose in front. It's knocked out near the line and stopped again out there by Kuhlman. Canadians get it free. Another 2-on-1 nearly shaped up right there with a long shot now from center. A stop by Bernier. We're down to 1:05 left to play in the first period. 2-1. Canadians lead. Leafs kept the goal. Van Riemsdyk. Now pass to Pacioretty. Pacioretty has that hard wrist shot, and he got it away that time. Bernier, good stop. The other way. Kadri, he comes in on goal. He grazed the post with that shot as he flipped it and tried to get in front for a rebound. Nothing happened for him that time. And down the ice is Weiss for the Canadiens. Set up, Bourque, shot, deflected wide of the net. They're getting chances at both ends, but it's still 2-1 Montreal.
We go from a tight game where not a lot of open ice to all of a sudden turnover by Riley jumping up in the play. That creates a 2-on-1. And a good defensive effort coming back by the group. There's a pinch by Tenorti. That creates a 2-on-1 at the other end. And Raymond gets cut off, can't get the pass across and goes high. And then another odd man rush that Pacioretty gets a good hard shot away that Bernier had to be sharp on.
Van Riemsdyk's goal is 25th, assisted by Kessel and Phaneuf. Canadiens win the draw and hook it in there for Bernier to cover up. That goal came at 17:34 after Galchenyuk scored, and Pacioretty right after that. Now Van Riemsdyk. It's a 2-1 game with 27 seconds left to play.
Really feeling the Toronto Maple Leafs getting through this period only down by 1 will be a good accomplishment after the way this period started.
Took them almost forever to get their first shot on goal, as you pointed out, Craig, but they got that goal. Here's in front again, the Canadiens. Bourque, he centered it, got to the line. And Markov gives it up again. Another long shot stopped by Bernier. Canadiens coming close. Another shot is blocked this time by McClement. He shot it ahead. 5 seconds left in the period, so the Leafs get the puck near center. And that'll run out the clock. So Galchenyuk first, then Pacioretty, a minute 22 after that. Van Riemsdyk at 17:34. And we got a 1-goal game with Don Cherry standing by in the coach's corner in our first intermission. So, after 1 period in Montreal, Canadiens lead it.
Welcome back. It's 2-1. Montreal leading the Leafs after 20 minutes. We all remember 6 days ago it was 3-0 Canada over Sweden for World Hockey Supremacy. PK Subban, a member of Team Canada. And moments after the win, he turned on the Subi cam. And here's the footage he had in the celebration.
Sid, say something. Party! Hey, Bracey, say something. Subi camp. Love it.
There it is. PK Subban in Canada, the first defense of the gold medal since Russia back in the 1980s. Let's send it upstairs. Bob Cole, Craig Simpson with our second period. Gentlemen.
Thank you, David. Montreal now shooting Toronto 14-6 in that first period. They had the 2 goals, and the Leafs the other. 2-1 the score. Each team has had a power play and no shots on the power play. Canadiens win the face-off to start her off. It is dumped in wide of the net. Peterson in first to pick it up for Toronto. Flipped out and down the ice. It was touched there. There will be no icing, so a rush for the puck. Markov saw his partner come back, and the Eminem played it. It's out and down the ice again, and the goalie has to leave the net. Fired on the boards by Phaneuf. Down as far as the Canadian line. Montreal, slow start again to this period. Just like the first, but it picked up maybe nearly halfway through, and dynamite all the way then. And the siren at the end of the first. Let's see how this one shapes up. Pacioretty is coming in on a forecheck. Didn't get to the puck. It's lifted high on the glass. And Riemsdyk played it ahead. It's out and down the ice, and Subban has to hurry back. Not so much now. That's an icing call. At first it looked like they weren't going to call it, but they did.
Well, Bob, it was a bit of a slow start, and one thing that will be troublesome for Randy Carlyle is how much time they spend in their own zone. Montreal in the offensive zone a significant more amount of time than the Toronto Maple Leafs, and obviously those 2 goals were direct results of the Leafs defensively not able to shut the door on Montreal.
Gallagher booted the puck ahead on that face-off win. The Leafs get it out. Van Riemsdyk waits for help to come up behind him. There's the pass. Right in front. A nice tip again, but the goalie made the save. Budaj. Big stop it was, too. After the puck is Kuhlman for the Maple Leafs. Backed it up around the net, hoping Van Riemsdyk could get to it. What a play he made in front of the net. Leafs get the puck at center for Gleason. Just shoots it in wide of the goal. Georges went after his man over there. Bumped Lupul off the puck. Didn't manage to get it in a little deeper though. Lupul comes in looking for it. His centerman got the puck out in front of the net. Kadri tried to catch up. In behind the net, 3 Leafs are there. Now the Canadians even it up as Georges comes back. But Kadri got the puck loose all the way to the line. Had to back it up, twisting around and shot it in there for Kuhlman. Kadri got it loose in front of the net. And then it's cleared out to the Canadians line down the ice. No shot that time. A little race on the wing, but Pacioretty couldn't really get loose to get a decent shot away. Now he's open in front of the goal. Takes it off the boards, turned and shot it up the net. Bernier the easy save. Lupul, Kadri. They get it out to center, but nobody can catch up to it. Leafs trying to change. They're doing some of that now. With the puck in deep in their own zone. Canadians can't keep it in. That's Holland getting away. Looks for somebody in front, took the shot himself. Budaj got a piece of it. Holland stayed in and the puck got out. Clarkson couldn't get too far. Both teams changing.
Holland was trying to get a shot off the left pad of Budaj there for a rebound, and instead Budaj did a nice job of just deflecting it to the corner and getting away from Lupul.
He did kind of come out and cut the angle on them. Made it tough for him to hit any part of the net. Down the ice for Bernier to tip away. Canadians have to come back. This one is all right in play, and the Canadians have to hustle. On the wing, Carroll's waited too long to make that first move. Then it was cleared out anyway by Briere. Down the ice for the Canadians. Move right in! Shot got wide of the net. Canadians can't keep it in. Maple Leafs were all back, and then Gardner flipped it back inside his own line. Down the ice it goes for Raymond. A little bit too far for him. McClement shot it in around that Montreal net. After the 4-minute mark of the second, still 2-1. Montreal goals in the first. There's McClement turning it back up ice. Shot it on the glass. It was knocked down and cleared back out to center. Riley waited. They're back on side. Leafs get it in. That's in wide of the net to the corner. McLaren thought he might catch up to it. McClement does. He's covered. Riley hopped off the blue line. In for McLaren. McLaren flipped it around the net on the reverse play, and then the Canadians find themselves running around in their own zone as the Leafs look a bit stronger. Long shot from the line by Riley was on. The Canadians have a tough time clearing the zone. It's still in there for McClement. He's having a good shift. Bumped back there. Couldn't hang on to the puck, and the Canadians, no place to go, so just shot to center. Briere couldn't find the puck in his skates. Now the Canadians are changing. Carroll stuffed it in. He heads to the bench, but it came back to him. Now he's gone off. And nobody able to move. Checking close to start the second. And we played almost 5 minutes of it. Still no scoring in this period. So 2-1 Montreal. Leafs try to get it up to Kessel. He stays up there. Georges saw him and he played it down the ice. Kessel stopped it. Comes on for Toronto. Made a good move to get it over here on this side. Van Riemsdyk in there behind the net. Again deep. And the Canadians just get it out of the zone to center. Budaj out of the net to leave it for Subban. Looks for room. Gets a nice pass away down the ice. Little pass in front of the net. Hit the side of the pipe on the outside, mind you. It just sat there on the right skate of Bernier.
Well, good execution of a rush up the ice by the Leafs. A little drop pass by Van Riemsdyk, and he goes hard to the net, and Budaj with a great save. Here's the play I was talking about, trying to get that rebound shot off a low pad to get a chance. A pinch at the line, but a smart play by the defense. Look at Franson just leading the shooter to the goaltender. Moen hasn't scored at 35. Give him that shot all day. Don't allow a cross-team pass.
Canadians win another face-off, this time in the lead zone. Goalie tried to knock it away from the danger area. Gallagher nearly picked it off. It's out and down the ice right to Budaj. Douglas Murray for the Montreal Canadiens starts him off. Long pass to Gallagher, made a dandy move. Gallagher with speed, but he's caught by Carl Gunnarsson. Just slapped him along the boards and he couldn't move. Gallagher's tough to stop. Swinging in on the outside especially. That time a good play by Big Gunnarsson, number 36 for the Maple Leafs. In back of the net, it'll go to Pacioretty. Lost it, got it back, slapped it over in front of the goal. Leafs are having a tough time now to find the puck in their own zone. And finally gets to Kadri, he's away to center, flipped it down the ice, and Tenorti stopped that. He had nobody open. Shot it off the boards down the ice. Phaneuf was there. Broke up the play, but Desharnais was grabbed, and there's going to be a penalty call.
It's going to be Desharnais for the trip on Phaneuf.
Desharnais was checked by the Leaf captain, and then he tripped him. Power play when we come back for Toronto. David Desharnais in the penalty box for tripping Craig. Toronto was 0 for 1 in the power play and not a shot.
Yeah, he didn't like the call, but here's battle for the loose puck, and there's the little slew foot there, the trip, and that was going to create a 2-on-1. I think that's why the arm went up so quickly. Phaneuf off balance, falling down. Gallagher gathering himself on the bench after another tough shift where he got knocked around a bit.
All right, the Leafs power play. As I mentioned, second of the game. They did not get a shot on goal on their first power play, nor did the Canadiens when they had the man advantage. So the penalty killing has been up front. 2-1, Montreal leads. The Leafs try to tie the game. Phaneuf's pass. Waiting is Franson. Kessel, he's got the big shot. And he gets it away right on. Peter Budaj has been solid in a backup role for the Canadiens now. This is his third start in a row.
Well, he was busy dealing with Van Riemsdyk in front. And what I like about this, so often you look at face-offs being won or lost. The wingers come in and help out both Kessel and Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk looking down, making sure that he's not backing into the blue. And Budaj does a nice job of closing the gap and making the save.
Bozak wants to win the face-off, and he won't get a chance. Thrown out. Van Riemsdyk for Toronto against Plekanec of the Canadiens. The Leafs won it. Couldn't take advantage. Kessel didn't see it right through his skates. And it's shot down the ice. We're coming up to the 7-minute mark of the second period here in Montreal. 21,273 again. Sellout after sellout. Watching Phaneuf come on. Got it over the line. Looked for the return pass. It didn't come right away. Kessel kept it in. Kessel trying to make a play. Gave it away. But good play by Tyler Bozak. Shot it over in front. The Canadiens get it out on a rush. It'll be Plekanec killing time rather than going down the ice hard. And Plekanec stayed right there, made a good play to shoot it down the ice again. He's headed off.
Fortunate there. Georges jumped up on the play, tried to create an odd man rush. With that turnover, Leafs almost had a 3-on-1 going back the other way.
Phaneuf turns around in his own zone, starts up. He'll drop it back, and Kessel will come on. Kessel up over the line, trying to hit Van Riemsdyk. It comes to Phaneuf anyway. In around the net it goes. Van Riemsdyk to the other point. Stopped by Franson, dumped it ahead. Round the boards, they're killing their own time. Kessel coming on for Toronto. Bad angle for him. Franson shot blocked. Kessel! He missed it. Had the open net and fanned on the puck. And the Canadiens get it down the ice. A little bit too hot to handle for Gianna. And Cody Franson was back there and just shot it behind his own goal. 22 seconds remaining in the Desharnais penalty. Last rush probably for Lubel and the Leafs. Got it in over the line. The setup comes over here to Raymond. Fires! Knocked down, not cleared out. Kept in by Riley. He shot it to the side of the goal. Another one from inside the line by Raymond was blocked. Raymond a third time moves on, centered it. Back to the line, and Riley screened. And looking around with Budaj, doesn't know where it is. Sees it now, and Raymond got the puck again. And another pass in front didn't quite click for the Maple Leafs. Penalty is done. And the Canadiens, Plekanec got the puck in deep and stops right there. Leafs did get a shot and only one on that power play. It's still 2-1 Canadiens. Halfway mark coming up in 55 seconds in this second period. Canadiens dump the puck in. Leafs a little livelier in this period than the first. And that's Lupul. Couldn't get it started though. Raymond is having a good shift, but got down the ice in the pass, didn't get to him. Canadians in. Pacioretty. This to net. Rebound was coming up front for Gallagher, but the goalie, Bernier, got his mitt down on it quickly.
Well, you see on the bench the remnants of a shot block by Josh Georges. Here's the shot by Kessel, though. This is a tough one as Tenorti clears the puck across. Kessel coming to the net, tries to get it out of midair. And then another look at it. It's just a hard bouncing puck that he couldn't get all of. And when you're killing penalties, this is the sacrifice you have. Right on the thumb of Georges is that shot by Mason Raymond. And he is hurting on the bench. You saw a little bit of blood there, too.
Briere is coming in to take the face-off against Peter Holland of the Maple Leafs. Briere moved from the wing to grab this face-off spot. Holland took care of him. Canadians, however, get the puck, and Eller dumped it to the corner. No room to move in there, though. The Leafs are all over him. They're going to move it out. Away comes Clarkson. Up over that blue line and takes the wrist shot right into the glove of Peter Budaj. Not a problem. No rebound.
Well, so much has been made for the Montreal Canadiens with Budaj getting his third straight start for the Canadiens in the absence of Carey Price. Michel Therrien said Price will go on the road trip. This is a tough road for the Montreal Canadiens. Why this game is so important. 4 games in 5 nights in Los Angeles, Anaheim, Phoenix, and San Jose. So to win this game with Budaj in the net for the 3rd time, so important for Montreal going on that tough California trip.
The Leafs win the face-off. Leafs tried to make a play at the line. 3 Canadians come to center. It'll be Briere dropping it back. Work shot, tip wide of the net. Eller is on it first. Eller, Canadians step it up. And it's Briere behind the net again, trying to leave it there. Coming over on this side is Bourque. Looks back, nobody open, goes to the line. Long shot. That's off the crossbar. And up high, but that's how close they've come now. Douglas Murray, a booming shot from the line. That came off the crossbar and flew up high. And the goalie, Bernier, didn't have a chance to move.
Josh Georges getting some modifications and more protection on that left glove. You think about the battles you have to have. If you're going to be 5'9" and playing in the National Hockey League, you have to play the way Brendan Gallagher does. Goes to those hard areas, but you're going to pay the price. I think the 2 weeks off would have helped him heal. Took a hard shot, was a part of that big goal, but he battles so hard and is aggressive every single time he hops over the boards for the Montreal Canadiens.
He's got 15 goals and 33 points and never stops working. Face-off wasn't done thoroughly, they'll drop it again. The shots in the period are, this time Toronto was shooting Montreal 6-3. It's 17-12 overall for the Canadiens. Face-off won by Toronto. Gunnarsson on. Saw Van Riemsdyk. Didn't clear it properly. It did come out, but nobody could pick it up, do anything with it. A little scrappy play between the 2 blue lines, and the Leafs, Van Riemsdyk picked it up, couldn't make a pass. Canadians finally get organized. That long pass comes all the way down here at the line. Gianna had it hit him. His head down, nearly got smoked, but did see it coming, got out of the way. Now he's in on the forecheck. That got high and comes right back to him. Couldn't center it first time, couldn't center it the second time. And the Maple Leafs will get it out of the zone. Down is Van Riemsdyk up over the line, but a little move before he hit the line, and Kessel offside.
It's time for the Crown Royal Icebreaker. Why not try Crown Royal Maple on the Rocks? Crown Royal, the official whiskey partner of the NHL.
Kessel was really flying down that right side, but just a stride ahead of the puck coming in to stop the play. 9:08 left to play in the second. 2-1, Montreal leads. Finally, the linesman drops it. Comes to the Canadiens. Tenorti dropped it back. Leafs want a forecheck, and they do a pretty good job. Up steps Canuck, dumped it in deep, heads off on a change. It got in deep around the net. McLennan missed it. McLaren went in, couldn't find it. The Canadiens don't get very much room to come out. They did get the puck out. Gardner dropped it back. Franson shot it ahead. That's in deep in the Montreal zone. Bodie comes in hard. He was bumped back there. It's loose back out on this side. Gardner can't get room to get a shot away up the net with the crowd in front of Budaj. Behind the goal. Murray goes after it. Gets the puck ahead. The Canadians get going. Harris is up. Will he reach it? It hit the linesman right there, and the Canadians miss a chance to get deep. When they do get it in, Briere was trapped, and the call on the offside.
Well, you look at that first period and you look for ice time. So much talk about PK Subban and how much he plays. How about the Leaf captain? He played more than anybody in that first period, almost 10 minutes of it, a good half, and now he's sitting at 14:42 already. So you've seen a number of times, Bob, where Randy Carlyle has his D-men changing, and that is all indicative of what Michel Therrien does with his lineup. So you see a lot of times Phaneuf on and off quickly on different matchup shifts.
Still 2-1 Montreal with 8:10 left to play in the second. A little slow play by Phaneuf right there. He waited and then hustled and got the puck. It is out, but he brought back in by Subban. Took a shot, sharp angle, wide of the net. Weiss flipped it behind the net for Eller. Eller stick handled his way free, shot it in there for Bourque. Subban came up, might give the Leafs a break, but getting back was Eller. Might have saved something big there for Toronto. Good back checking by Eller, who gets the puck for Montreal. Out they go, and Subban this time lifted a high one in. That is knocked down. Raymond cleared at the center, and up steps Holland. He's on the move, coming in hard against Markov. Markov fooled him, played the puck along the boards, and it got behind the net for PK Subban again. This time a pass by him. Eller strides away. Up near the Leaf line, poked it along the boards, didn't get deep. The Leafs shoot it out and down the ice. 7:05 left in the second. Nothing doing on the scoreboard here in the middle period. Canadians 2 in the first. The Leafs get 1 in the first. That's the story now. Desharnais put himself offside.
Well, the Canadians trying to push and get the defense involved, and you know Subban looks for an opportunity to come down the wall, but a little miscommunication. He's thinking he's going to have a little reverse there. He and Bourque almost collide, and a good response getting back quickly by both he and Eller to stop an odd man rush.
Eller got back quickly that time. It was a big defensive play by him. Leafs had a 3-on-1 had he not gotten back. So no damage on the giveaway inside the Leaf line. Gallagher tried a short pass. Didn't make it work. Yemelin missed it. Leafs get it. Kessel had to turn back. Gunnarsson played it ahead. Knifed over the line. Kessel, he couldn't find it. The Canadians do. Desharnais coming in with Gallagher. Turns back near the line. Yemelin waits. Doesn't shoot it. Backhanded the puck in behind the net. And Yemelin had to back off. He did get it up the line. It came right to him. Now cleared by Toronto. 6:15 to go, and stepping up again, the Canadian defenseman. Subban this time shot it before he hit the line. That's Gianna in there first. Crowd, and he was stopped by Phaneuf. Van Riemsdyk brings it away for Toronto. Dropped it to the Leaf captain. He shot it ahead. It's in deep. And the Canadians had to get back. All of them were back, except this guy up here, Gianna, and he couldn't handle that long pass. 5:45 remaining in the second period. Morgan Rielly turning around, got the puck away. Lupul tripped a bit, couldn't get out, recovered, got the puck, shot it away. Crowd trying to get these two teams going. Plenty of Leaf fans here in Montreal for the game. It's 2-1 Montreal. And the Leafs start out. Rielly coming on strong up to the Canadian line. He did get in along the boards and was hit by Subban, stopping the rush. Played away on the boards by Lupul. Back on the line. The Canadians break it up. Out comes Plekanec. He's in over the line, and 4 Leafs are watching him. So he passed it off over there to Tenorti, and he just shot it ahead, not very far. Rielly up there at center takes the pass. Gets the shot away wide of the net. The rebound off the boards to Clarkson. Put it in for Lupul. He's covered. Stepping up is Gardner for the Maple Leafs and dumping it behind the net. Breaking that up was Murray, and Murray got it with a skate and then a stick, and did get the puck out and down the ice off Briere, but that'll be icing against Montreal. The Senators take on the Canucks in Vancouver for a reunion of classic rivals under a retractable roof. Watch the 2014 Tim Hortons NHL Heritage Classic tomorrow afternoon at 3 on CBC. Face off deep in the Montreal zone. Pass is not clicking for either team, really, not the way they had planned it all. Hence a little scrappy play because of the defensive play of both teams. Checking rather close. Stopped at the line by Francis. Shot blocked. Here's another. Blocked. Don't reach the net with 2 shots. Maple Leafs don't keep it in, and Gardner had to hustle back. Briere was a bit speedy coming up. It's played out over the line, and there again goes Raymond. Coming in and dropped it back. Wide open ice over there. So Briere came back. A little confusion inside the Canadian line. Habs get it down the ice, but flipped away by Clarkson again. Taking the pass. Holland, he couldn't cover well, and Raymond took off. Didn't get too far. Flipped it up the net and was covered by Douglas Murray, and the goalie held the puck. And we will be back.
Welcome back to the Bell Center. What is David Beckham and Joe Namath and Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, and Joffrey Lupul? What do they all have in common? Well, apparently they're named on the list of best dressed athletes of all time. There is Joffrey Lupul coming into the Bell Center today. Sharp Magazine, a Canadian publication, putting Joffrey Lupul on that pretty illustrious list of athletes and their fashion sense. Let's get you back up now. Bob Cole and Craig Simpson. Guys.
And the face-off is coming up to the left of Peter Budaj. As we mentioned, his 3rd start in a row. Dustin Tokarski up from Hamilton, 24-year-old, is the backup goaltender for the Canadians. Kessel moved the puck off a skate and out. And a good chance to move on himself, but I think the pass that went wide. It was off the skate and out, down the ice. Canadians nearly offside. The play is allowed to continue, and the Leafs move on. Bozak got it over the line. Buchanan was back to break it up. Enough to take care of the Canadians on that attempted rush. Scrappy play here, but coming in, Van Riemsdyk did not get a shot away before being checked. Canadians get it out, and it's missed it. Bozak turns back. Played it on the boards for Kessel. That's broken up just inside the Montreal blue line. 3:10 left in the second period. Still 2-1 Montreal. Markov had to hustle over there, and he did, to get the puck loose. The Canadians clear. Leafson in his own zone. Long lead pass doesn't work, and went over the boards at the Canadians bench.
You know, it's a pretty good shift by Andrei Markov. A lot of talk about his impending contract talks, trying to get a deal done. Will he stay as a member of the Montreal Canadiens? But that matchup going up against the speed of Phil Kessel all night long, he and Yemelin, they've done a pretty effective job. And there you saw a great example of, it's not always speed, it's smarts. And he read the play perfectly, broke up a couple of chances by Kessel, and for the most part has kept them frustrated on the night.
Kadri won the draw. The Leafs get the puck in. Budaj stepping out to set it up for Subban. The Leafs are forechecking hard this time, and they get the puck away from the Canadians. Stopped at the line. Gunnarsson flipped it toward the net. Grabbed by Kadri off the boards. Dawson Kadri shot it around the goal. Lupul is covered back there. Puck loose out in front of the net. Kadri centered it. The Canadians don't clear it out. Phaneuf keeps it in. Long, high shot over the net. Stopped, knocked in on the boards to the line. Still nowhere near getting out. That shot missed the net. Gunnarsson is in deep. Shot it behind the goal for Joffrey Lupul. And again, turning was Lupul. He'll have to come all the way with it along the boards and then backed it up. The Canadians can't find it to clear it. Now they get as far as the blue line, but stopped, now kicked out, and then lifted down the ice by Desharnais. Desharnais there at center ice to break up a possible rush by the Maple Leafs. Under 2 minutes remaining in the second period in Montreal at the Bell Center. It's 2-1 Canadians. Leeson, dangerous play in front of the net against Bork. Got the pass away down the ice, and there was Murray to kick it loose back to center. Leeson waited for that, gave it to his partner, and Phaneuf flipped one down inside the line. It goes right to the goalie. And Peter Budaj not going to take any chances and stop the puck.
Yeah, smart play by Budaj to sort of quash the momentum a little bit. That was a good shift, good battle down low by Lupul. He's got one man on him, one arm and one foot on the ground, tries to get it to the front, but this line with a good shift to try to follow up a little momentum, and that's a smart play by Budaj. Allow his team to settle down, allow Therrien to get a change, you get a better matchup.
Leafs are playing it close to the vest, you know. They saw the Canadians skate well in the first period, so their checking is better in the second period, I do believe, and hence we have no action for the goalies, or very little. Out to center is Gianna. He's alone for a bit. Gianna gets a shot away himself, waiting for help, which was late coming. Knocked down by Gianna skating in front of the goal. And then Galchenyuk was there too, but Bernier was covering up.
That was a quick shot on Bernier, but if that had have found a way in, I don't think it would have counted. Bernier deflects the puck into the corner. Good quick turnaround though by Plekanec, and you saw the high stick. Bernier calmly was able to handle that, get down, and to me that was above the bar. Had that found a way through the legs of Bernier.
1:14 left in the period. And here's another face-off in the Toronto zone. 18 shots by the Canadians, 13 shots by the Leafs in this game. And here we go. Money dropped into the corner, it goes, scramble for it. It'll be Gianna who'll get it here first. He was covered by Raymond, and the Leafs get the puck down the ice. Clarkson's prevented from going very far. Big Edmund coming up after it for Toronto. Clarkson was right behind him. That went over Clarkson's head and down the ice. Gianna races in. He has Galchenyuk in front of the net. Tried to get the puck over to him. We're in the final minute of the period. I'm sure you heard that. Down to 46.2 seconds remaining in the period.
Well, it's been a tough night for Bernier to judge how he's feeling in between the pipes. The two that got by him were tough plays in the slot area on quick turnaround. One went off the stick of his defenseman Riley. The other one he had Gallagher in front. And then as you mentioned, Bob, not a whole lot of action since. He gets a little tap from his centerman Bozak for holding that puck and again allowing the Leafs to get a change.
Face off deep in the Toronto zone once more. Linesmen are very fussy tonight. Canadians win the draw. Markov had no place to go, threw it in there for Briere. Enough took care of him. Gunnarsson got the puck ahead, didn't get too far. At the blue line. Georges couldn't steady it to get a shot. And had to hurry the pass in around the net. Bozak there for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it's Bork getting it back to the blue line. Georges shot. Missed the goal. Big rebound coming, penalty. And it's going to be against, let's see, Montreal. I think so. An interference is going to be the call. Nobody seems to like it.
Daniel Briere was battling hard for position in front. The puck went side to side. You hear what the Montreal faithful feel about this call. You be the judge yourself. There's the battle. He just takes an inside position. I think the reaction quickly was the fact that the puck was coming at the same time was a dangerous chance that might have had a chance to go in, and the arm went up right away. And that's one where Briere's got to try to find a way to get around him.
Toronto 0 for 2 in the power play. So really, the refs have been letting them go tonight. Really, they haven't been going hard at each other, have they? But slack on the body. Checking has been close. No real heavy hits. 2, maybe 3 of the game so far. Puck is loose to the blue line. Gardner, Maple Leafs on the power play. Move in, try to tie the game. Riley missed it. It did not get out. Riley shot it in. That's off Henry's stick. He got it again. Tried to whip a shot at the net, knocked down. And the siren ends the second period with the Leafs trying to get something going before it was done. The shots were Toronto 7, Montreal 5 in that period. 19-13 overall. Montreal no scoring in the period, so it's still 2-1. Welcome back to the Bell Center, and we're coming up to period number 3 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. That is Briere in the box for the Canadiens, and he has 1:43 remaining in that minor penalty. So at center ice, they get set to get this third period underway. The Leafs looking to get something going before this power play is done. Trailing the Canadiens 2-1, and here's Phaneuf. Steps up to the line, allowed to come to center. The pass nearly picked off, but the Leafs get it in over the line. Set up, back at the line for Phaneuf. Shot, deflected in front of the goal. Down is Peter Budaj and smothers the puck with a crowd in the blue ice.
You see the importance of a good entry to create a chance, and the Leafs did a lot of side to side, picking apart the box, keeping it a little bit separated. That got a passing lane and then a shooting lane that the rebound was there for James Van Riemsdyk. Look at Budaj trying to find it in through a crowd, and Van Riemsdyk just missed, and Budaj did a nice job of corralling that rebound.
Face off to the right of the net. Leafs every man up, of course, and they gain control of the puck. On this power play, Toronto trying to tire up here early in the third period. Outside that four-man box. First pass was intercepted. Franzen dumps it to the side of the net. What a save by Budaj! Post to post, flash lightning, and stop the short goal. Franzen throws it in again. Budaj, what a save he just made to keep it 2-1 Montreal. Gonna show you that again. From the blue line, Phaneuf sets it up. Long pass into Franzen off his stick. 45 seconds left in the Leaf power play. Kessel takes a look, decides that's a bad angle, shoots it anyway, and it'll be cleared by Montreal. That's Plekanec, showing good speed, was knocked down on the play, and it carries on. Into the corner is Phaneuf. 25 seconds left in the Montreal penalty. Briere is in there and serving it out, and the Leafs have come very close to tying the game twice. Side of the net, played off the boards back near the line and stopped there by Gardner the other way. Phaneuf drives it up the goal. Not hard, it was blocked, and Pacioretty steals a little more time. Gets in with a shot to the glove of Bernier. He'll drop it. The teams are at full strength. 2 saves made by Budaj, and one of them worth $1 million.
No Carey Price, no problem there. That was a spectacular side-to-side movement by Budaj.
2 minutes into the third period. Canadiens, Eller shot, sharp angle, side of the net. Cleared high, over the glass and out of play. Stopping the play.
Well, so often you know the tendencies of your opponent. You do a pre-scout, and here Peter Budaj knows that couple of moves Van Riemsdyk likes. He likes going between his legs and shooting it himself. There's the passing play. He's deep in his crease, gets across with that toe, and Phil Kessel can't believe he wasn't able to put that one past the goaltender. Just didn't get it up to the top third of the net, and Budaj made him pay. Great toe save and athleticism by number 30.
The right skate down, that was a dandy. In front of the net, Bourque nearly had a chance wide open on that side. Shot into the corner, Briere chopped it loose for Eller. Bourque comes in to help him. Bourque did get the puck away, tried to move it back to the line, and 3 Leafs are coming out, led by Clarkson. He gave it away at center ice, coming in hard. It's Gilligan centering it, came off the boards in the blue ice area again. And Peter Budaj is the man of the hour for the Montreal Canadiens. Right here, he covers up again.
He's on top of his game for sure, and it's the speed through the middle of the ice. You can see Gleason joining the play, goes off his pad, but a great reaction. Watch the head of Budaj. He tracks this puck perfectly, gets across, follows it, and he actually makes the save there. As the shot coming through a crowd, hard to control that rebound there. But the impressive play is after the puck came back, Budaj was all over it.
What a piece of goaltending. This man is turning in to start the third period for the Canadiens. 2-1 Montreal leads. All goals were scored in the opening period. Canadians get the puck out to center. It was a dandy play down there for Gallagher. The shot is wide of the net, and he had Bernier moving. His shot wristed at the far side, just wide. Tenorti in his own zone. He and Murray back and forth with passes. Tenorti nearly got caught by Kuhlman. Got away, shot it down the ice. The goalie out to play it. Bernier. Enough tries to cover. Desharnais slipped away from a check. Pacioretty batted the puck to the corner and comes in around the net looking for it. It'll be Kuhlman for the Maple Leafs. A short pass, got him out. Down the center and turning back is Phaneuf. He left it inside his own line, waits for the return to come, and here it is. Phaneuf steps over center, in over the line, and gave it away in there to the Canadians. Markov will try to get it going the other way quickly. That long pass missed everybody. And that's an icing call against Montreal. 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the third period.
Well, what a sequence here to keep it a one-goal game as Peter Budaj filling in well, and he's done an admirable job. He's 7-4-2 on the season, but here with his third game in a row, he comes up with 2 of his best saves. And I just think when you're tracking the puck so well, look at how athletic he is. He's solid in net, and he was able to hold on to the rebound twice in the last 2 minutes to make a big difference.
Bozak for the Maple Leafs wins the draw, but he couldn't hop on the puck quickly enough, and it's just cleared out. Chenyuk was there at center ice. The pass went to the boards, the far side, and chipped in deep. So the Canadians all had to come back. They are back. Played on the boards. Galchenyuk tapped it out to center. It is shot away deep again by Gionta. Coming in hard against Gleason. Puck kept in by Montreal's defenseman Yemelin on the far side. Around the net, wraparound attempt doesn't work by Gionta. It'll be cleared out by Kessel. Tried a long pass, that did not work. Gleason had to back it up again. And Riley steps up to the line to center. Riley backhands the puck in for the Leafs and then was dicked at center ice by Bourque. He takes the pass. Comes on himself. Bourque is a fast skater, but he couldn't get inside, and Franson, he took him to the boards, and there's going to be a Toronto penalty on that last hit inside the line. Budaj left the net.
It's Kadri who's going to get the call, Bob. And this is a sequence of about 3 in a row where both sides, big body checks along the boards. Weiss went hard in there. He had a hard time, but it started with this one. Bourque just unloads on Riley after he dumps the puck in. Riley gets off. Franson unloads on Bourque. That wanted a penalty there. The call didn't happen. And here's the penalty that did call, the stick into the feet of Dale Weiss by Nazem Kadri, and he goes to the box.
And then the stick came and hit him in the mouth, I think, and he's gone to the Canadiens' dressing room.
That's a lot of discussion right now. Brian Gionta thought there maybe should have been 2 penalties. You saw the reaction of Bourque when he got hit by Franson, and at different times you might see that play being called. One body's down, and there's the second one after when the arm went up.
Craig, this could be a turn of events here for the Canadiens and, of course, the Maple Leafs. They started the period with a power play when Briere had to serve the rest of his minor. Now they kill that off, and here they are with Kadri called for tripping, and the Canadiens up a goal. They've got a chance, instead of the Leafs tying it up on a power play goal, now the Canadiens get a chance to go up 2 goals. And 2-goal lead, the way these two are playing tonight, is huge.
Well, and you can thank Peter Budaj for that, and Michel Therrien knows that he dodged a bullet. The key here is for Bernier to be able to make the save. Let's watch at the end of the play, watch the right skate of Kadri that hits him in the face. Oh, is that dangerous? So Dale Weiss not only going hard into the boards there, and that had to hurt. It's the follow through, obviously not on purpose by Kadri, just the body's flying into the boards, and that's why we're waiting here for the blood to be taken away from that corner. Hopefully Weiss will be okay.
Faceoff is going to be deep in the Toronto zone to the right of Jonathan Bernier. 2-1 Montreal. Desharnais on the faceoff wins it. It comes back to Markov. Couldn't shoot it. He was covered well. Now has to make a pass across ice and does. Subban. That hit a stick and went high over the net. Centering pass. Broken up by Kuhlman. and he shoots it off the boards down the ice. Already 20 seconds gone in the minor penalty against Kadri. Coming out. Subban delivers the pass to Markov. The veteran shoots it in deep in the Montreal zone. Back there was Kuhlman sweeping around the net. And another clearing play by the Leaf defenseman Cody Franson. Down the ice again. Canadians can't get much going. It'll be Subban trying to get somebody to come after him, opening up somebody else in a red shirt. It didn't work. Bodies collide in the corner, but at the line, Subban. Here's Markov. Markov, sharp angle. Bad pass. Gets out. Race for it. Van Riemsdyk in on goal. Scores! James Van Riemsdyk showing the speed. Pulls away. Ties the game for Toronto. Short-handed goal.
That face says it all that you need to know for Montreal there. An errant pass. Markov goes down the boards thinking that Subban is back on the offside. He's not. And what a power move by James Van Riemsdyk. Just takes it, dares PK Subban to haul him down or take a penalty and maybe get a penalty shot. And then calmly opens up the legs of Peter Budaj as he goes side to side. Budaj trying to track him across and puts it 5-hole. Thursday, it was the Toronto Maple Leafs giving up 2 shorties that cost them. Here they get a shorty to tie the game.
Markov did not look over. He assumed somebody was over there, threw the pass to open ice. But credit Van Riemsdyk, Craig, he really took off.
And he had a head of steam on PK Subban, and that's a tough call for Subban. Do you get more aggressive there and maybe take a penalty shot?
Canadians power play not working. Short-handed goal given up. The game is tied at 2. 37 seconds left in the penalty against Kadri of the Maple Leafs. Galchenyuk lost it inside the line. It's cleared down the ice again, and Canadians running out of time on this power play. This is Yemel. Steps up to the blue line. Covered by Raymond. Drop the puck. In comes Plekanec. Hard to get the zone the way the Leafs were lined up there at the line. And again, Van Riemsdyk shot at the length of the ice. 10 seconds left to kill on this power play. The Canadians not doing much. Getting the puck ahead. They've given up a short-handed goal, but now Eller is coming in strong. Eller in around the net. Handles the puck beautifully back to the line. Shot on the boards by Markov in deep again. It rings around the corner boards and comes out here to Bourque. He played the puck ahead. Eller went in, reached for it, couldn't get to it. Henry is away. He shot the puck to center ice. The Leafs looking for more trouble in here now, but can't quite get to the puck. That was Raymond who had that last chance. 7 minutes. Just about reached that mark in the third period now. Now we've hit it as the puck is picked up at center ice by the Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman Carl Gunnarsson, and he dumps it in. Off the boards to the far side. The referee over there goes flying. The Leafs are flying too. They've tied the game. And coming in after the puck this time is Bozak. Didn't get it. It's lifted high out and down the ice. Gunnarsson turns right up there. A dandy pass into Bozak. Gets set, plays it back, right in front of the net, and a great save again by Budaj. Kessel had the first chance, and there was another that Budaj stopped both. Kessel knocked the puck down at center ice and put on the brakes. The pass hit a stick. Bozak got it. Kessel is alone. Scores! Kessel gives the Leafs the lead for the first time tonight. Rocket shot high. 3-2, Toronto.
You can say all you want about Tyler Bozak, and so often, okay, maybe not a legitimate number one, forget it. 2 great plays he makes. He starts the playoff on that one. Lupul can't get it past a sprawling Budaj, but then another great pass by Bozak springs Phil Kessel into the open, and this is a shot just perfectly placed. 14 inches, stick side, under the blocker, over the pad. A no-look backhand pass, tape to tape, and Kessel's going to score that 9 out of 10 times. What a turnaround in this game. And that forces Michel Therrien to take a timeout and try to settle his troops down.
Settle them down, stop the flying Maple Leafs. That was great speed shown by Kessel, too, when he saw the open ice. he just exploded and took off. And when you give him a chance like that, he's a goal scorer, everybody knows. And that went high over Budaj, and the Leafs lead for the first time.
Well, you think of the game that happened on Thursday night. This was a shorthanded goal. PK Subban with a turnover, Sutter with a goal that gave the Pittsburgh Penguins a lead and gave Michel Therrien fits. That forced Subban to sit for a while. This time, he's not able to get the pass. A bad pass by Markov. Subban trying to get back, not able to stop Van Riemsdyk, and that has just turned this game on its head. What a momentum swing it's been here in the third period for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Kessel's 33rd goal of the season, giving the Leafs the lead. Two big goals by Toronto. Van Riemsdyk shorthanded, 5:28. Now it's 7:43. The Leafs take over the lead on Kessel's 33rd.
Well, I don't know if there's a better line in the National Hockey League right now than this one for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Bozak, Kessel, and Van Riemsdyk again. All the offense for Toronto.
Up comes Gianna. Nice save by Bernier. Right pad down and kick that one out. Gianna got it in front. No play in front of the net by Plekanec. Got it on a skate. Couldn't kick it up to the stick in time. Subban sees no way to go, so he backed off. Subban again takes the pass from Plekanec. The Canadians are changing. He knows it. Gives them time. 11:25 left to play in the third. The Leafs are ahead. 3-2. Pacioretty stopped. Poked ahead by Kadri. Going after it, knocked down. Pacioretty was there on top of him. Gallagher tapped it out to Desharnais. Pacioretty takes the pass. Tries to get inside. Just centered it as he was turned around. Got it over in front of the net, and the Leafs break it up and get it out again. Leafs attacking Kuhlman down that side. Passed it over in front. Nice save off the shot by Riley as it went high. Pacioretty brings it out. Pace picks up here in the third. And the two teams change as the puck is deep. Tim Gleason of the Maple Leafs. Halfway mark. Third period coming up in 45 seconds. That pass will be stopped at center. Yemelin couldn't move on. The Leafs do get it in. Peter Holland was up first. The goalie was out to play it here. And Clarkson stopped that. Markov flipped it high. That'll get away to the netting. And the play is stopped with 10:29 remaining in the third period. Toronto has taken the lead here tonight. Welcome back to the Bell Center in Montreal. Time for Hockey Night Close-Up. Brought to you by Subway Restaurants.
Right off the bat, James Van Riemsdyk was a difference maker, going to the net, trying to create some offense. His goal near the end of the first period gave the Toronto Maple Leafs some life. And this one, a shorthanded goal, the second shorty of the year for him, has really ignited Toronto and spurred the comeback here in the third period.
2 goals in a minute and 15 seconds. Shocks the crowd here at the Bell Center. 10:29 remaining third period. Little pass along the boards by Cody Franson. Got in deep to Clarkson. All the way to the line. Clarkson keeps it in there. Nearly lost it near the blue line. The Canadians, Subban, rink wide pass was nearly picked off. Bourque didn't get anywhere. Georges knocked it down. It's offside at the line as it was brought in behind Mason Raymond.
Well, the one thing about this Leaf team is they've been able to score their way out of problems. In 10 of the last 15 games, they've scored 4 goals or more. And here in this third period, those 2 goals have given them life. And once again, all 3 of Bozak, Van Riemsdyk, and Kessel now 4-game scoring streaks in progress.
That's won it, dropping it back. The 2 defensemen back and forth with the puck. Canadians finally to center on the move. Galchenyuk comes off the boards, bedded in off the boards behind the net. The Leafs are all back, and Gardner swept it away. Toronto on the attack again. Dumped over the line, and the shot fired in on goal by Peter Holland. And Budaj has to hang on to this one with the Leafs storming in.
Yeah, that one had a chance too, and you saw Budaj hit him in an awkward place. It was one of those shots just not quite right at the glove, but at the crook of your elbow. And the reaction of Budaj, he read it, he got it, but he knew he had to squeeze awkwardly. A nice play for a left-hander walking into a one-timer like that, and he got good wood on it.
Shots are almost even in the game. 22-21, and the Leafs are ahead in that department. Van Riemsdyk is second of the game, shorthanded, then Kessel. So it's 3-2 Toronto. Montreal starting up, Galchenyuk weaves his way to center. Faded in on the boards on the left side. The Leafs break it up. 3 of them take off. Kessel is down that far side. It's ripped in off the boards, hoping Kessel could pick it up. The goalie got out to play it. The Canadians the other way. Gianna gonna get called. Gianna squeezed out along the boards by Tim Gleason. And the Leaf defenseman is called for interference. So when we return, the Canadians down a goal will be on the power play. Canada's short track speed skaters. They came back with medals from Russia. Charles Hamlin, the gold, and his girlfriend, Marianne Saint-Gelais, the silver medal. They got a standing O here at the Bell Center, and why not? You see the penalty along the boards against Gleason interference.
That's the one that the Montreal Canadiens wanted when the Weiss penalty happened to Kadri. Franson did that earlier. To Bork, no call made, but that one clearly an interference call and an opportunity for the Canadiens to try to tie this game.
And here they line up with David Desharnais on the faceoff and winning it. Shot from the line, bullet drive, grabbed by Bernier. PK Subban had all the time he needed to unload that heavy shot of his. The goalie saw it all the way.
Well, he had to figure that Subban was hesitating just a little bit, knowing there was no traffic in front, no screen, and a pretty easy save for Bernier to make.
Again, let's see how Desharnais does. Can win them all. He did hook this one away after the Leafs seemed to have it. Another shot. That's in wide of the net this time by Subban. He stays open at the line and gets a third. Scores! It had to happen. The third time for Subban. And the game is tied. Boy, he can rip it. Can he not? That was a hard shot.
And the difference there, Bob, is number 11 in front, like he's been so often, is the screen and the difference maker. There's the first shot that almost gets a chance past Bernier. Bernier trying to track this puck through. A perfectly placed shot on the stick side. You can see the torque on the stick that goes through a screen just by Dion Phaneuf and underneath the blocker of Jonathan Bernier. And if you've followed the history of these two teams, there's PK Subban again with the jersey Superman tug there. And you know that had to get the attention of the Leaf bench given the history with these two teams.
Well, they gave him one that was stopped by the goalie, another that was blocked, and they had the nerve to give him a third. And look out, this game is tied.
Well, that's a big goal for Subban, too. It's his first goal in 14 games, and you know the frustration was mounting for him. You know he's always under the spotlight. And now we got ourselves a game.
His 9th goal of the season. Coming on the power play. Markov and Desharnais earned assists. Another shot wide of the Maple Leaf net. Galchenyuk was on the rebound quickly, tried to pass it back, had a stick lifted. Phaneuf got it out to center. The Canadians look a little livelier now. Plekanec's coming on in over the line. Game tied at 3 with 8:45 remaining in the third. Habs with the puck inside the line. The shot is fired in there all the way to hit a skate before it got near the net. And Kessel just missed it at center. Now a Canadian penalty.
They're both going.
Markov was coming back. And they're both going?
They're both going. If Van Riemsdyk just kept his feet moving, this would be a power play for the Leafs. But much like we saw with PK Subban the other night against Detroit, he called both. Markov caught standing still, and that's a good call. You got a stick in there. Markov's caught off balance. And for Van Riemsdyk, just keep skating and you would have got the call.
All right. It's done. So we get a little open hockey maybe with the 4.
Well, it's amazing what one goal does to the intensity of the game, isn't it? That next shift after a goal, as Montreal ramped up, the crowd's into it. Should be a great finish here.
They saw Montreal zone, scramble for the puck on the draw. The Leafs get control of it. Henry made the play. A hard shot by Jake Gardiner was on, but the angle was covered and held by Budaj.
As you see so often, players, when you don't have anybody in front, a little hesitant to take that shot. Gardiner, though, was walking into one, had an opportunity here, was waiting for traffic to get there, and the only one that was in the way was Budaj's defenseman, Josh George.
And the faceoff comes to the right of Budaj. Dropped in for the Maple Leafs. No advantage taken on that faceoff win. Georges takes it, gives it to Subban. He gives it to Pacioretty. He tapped it up over the Leaf line. Pacioretty nearly got it past Gardiner, but Gardiner got the puck. Left it for Franson. A hit on the boards for Lupul. Lupul had to swing away from a check, and then they had to back it up. Gardiner did that for Franson. And again, the Leafs just wind it back and forth, trying to get organized. 4-on-4 hockey. Crowd gets back into the game here at the Bell Center. The Leafs are on the move in a tie game. No shot on this rush. In back of the net. Gianna doing great work to pick it up and get it out quickly. That's a dandy pass down to the defenseman Yemelin, who joined the rush after the play. Leafs break it up. They try to go the other way with Phaneuf turning back. Checked by Gianna. Had to go back with it. And again, the Leaf defenseman back and forth. Gunnarsson behind his own goal. Waits for Phaneuf to make a move. Now, Gus leaves it right there, and the forwards take over. Kessel, number 1 in scoring and coming on. A shot 2 by him. It was high. Wristed up the net, and Budaj got the shoulder on it. Eller, he can go too. Down on that right side is Eller coming at the net. Eller in around the goal, takes a look in front, keeps the puck moving. Eller all over the place in there. Takes the shot, hit a stick, went wide of the net, and Phaneuf takes over for Toronto. He'll go around the net. Eller tried to stop it, did not. It got out to center ice. Broken up by Subban. He gallops away in over the line against the Leaf captain. Moved away back to the line. Passes off. Centering pass doesn't work. Broken stick over there, and the Canadians were short-handed all of a sudden as Eller broke his stick. Good move by Subban. Back pass Pacioretty. Pacioretty returned it over in front of the net. Desharnais comes to the boards. Back to the line, and nobody was there. Yemen had to wait. They're back on side. No, they were not. It's called on the offside at the Toronto line.
Well, I mentioned the history between PK and the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is PK's last goal prior to this one. It was against the Ottawa Senators late January, an overtime winner, and his reaction there drew the ire of the Ottawa Senator fans. And then 2 nights later, James Van Riemsdyk doing the same thing, mocking PK Subban in what was a big game. Well, here, after not scoring in 13 games, he felt the weight of the world off, but once again, it'll be interesting to see what the response will be from the Leafs.
Ian Pacioretty, top Canadian scoring. He's passed to Galchenyuk, and he's trying to return it on the right side, but the Leafs break it up. And they're onside coming in. Holland fired a pass over in front of the net. Stepping up is Mason Raymond. Shot it behind the goal. Clarkson is in there, pinned on the boards. Getting loose though is Holland. Left it for Clarkson. Holland again. Both of them trying to get the puck under control, but the Canadians are checking well. And it's out and down the ice. Linesman signaling into the icing. It is. Bring it all the way back. We're down to 5 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the third period with these two. Subban coming alive here in the third.
Well, the one thing, when he gets some confidence, you know, he tries to make plays, and you've seen a lot of this in this third period. Nobody on him in the neutral zone, a little between the legs. Kessel just turns away. Always entertaining, always something happening when he's on the ice.
They stop in there, won by Toronto. Franson at the line. Little short pass ahead. Lupul drives it. That's blocked in front of the goalie. Here's another one. That's stopped. It's not cleared out. Will it get to the line? Yes. Barely outside the line. Gardiner could not catch up. They get back on side. The Leafs do and come in after Yemelen. He pulls away from Lupulin, gets up with the pass ahead of the Cannons. To center. Dumps it in. End of the shift for that line. They're gone off. Bourque couldn't catch up to it. The Leafs starting away, but Franson just threw it back, and here's Gardner getting to center. That went high off his stick and over the boards at the Canadiens bench. We're down to just 4:57 remaining in the third period. Weezy's back. Look at that cut. All stitched up. He got the skate of Kadri accidental in the corner. He's back.
And while he was gone, this is what happened on the ensuing power play. It was a shorthanded goal, then a quick response by Kessel to give the Leafs the lead, and then PK Subban with a bomb from the point with traffic in front has tied this game and got this crowd on its feet.
The faceoff is coming outside the Montreal blue line, won by Toronto. So in the zone it goes, but it hits somebody and bounced right back to center ice. Kim Gleason backs up. Toronto on the move. Kessel's quick pass. Hot hand of Van Riemsdyk ready to go to work again. Couldn't quite get loose that time. Dandy played by Kessel to get the puck over to him. Right on the tape. 4:30 left in the third. We're in for the finish at the Bell Center in Montreal. Leafs lead the season series 2-1. The game is tied here in the third. 2-2. Kessel is on the move. The pass comes over in front of the Canadiens net, and they break it up. Three of them go down the ice. Gianna got in over the line and got away from Gleason. Thought he had him lined up, but missed him. Kessel didn't see that pass. Canadiens on it. Eller brings it on. Canadiens were changing. He centered it. Down goes Bernier to keep it out. And the puck is hurriedly fired on the boards down the ice. Subban looks for open ice. It was winding up. Couldn't find it. Had to stop. Now he delivers a pass. Bourque put a high one in. Briere will never catch up to that. Gardner was in there easily ahead of him. Over to Clarkson. Clarkson got it out as far as center. Holland was turned around. The Canadiens had to come in after the puck. George is there first. Backed it up a little bit, nearly lost it. Side of the net. It's tapped to the blue line, but kept in by the Maple Leafs. Gardner swings in on the backhand. Went in on goal, had to go around the net, still has it under control. That's Gardner with the puck. In there for Clarkson. Clarkson is tied up in the corner. Stays there fighting for it. Good work by him. Got it out a little bit in behind the net. That'll be Raymond trying to dump it in front. Got it to the blue line. Franson the other way. It's outside the line. The linesman is standing right there. Called the play. Van Riemsdyk was dumped in front of the net. Clarkson gets up swinging. Wow. Does Rick Mercer have what it takes to train Paralympic athletes in Lake Louise? Find out on an all-new Rick Mercer Report Tuesday night at 8 on CBC television.
Well, some anxious moments at both ends, and Van Riemsdyk backhand pass he thought Kessel was ready for, and that created a quick chance. Nice job of keeping it to the outside. Bernier tracked that puck instead of going to his left, came back to the right and was able to shut the door.
Nazem Kadri on the face-off. Tapped it to the line. The Canadiens roll it up and down the ice. Gallagher racing after it. Can't get a shot. Gallagher just raced away. Couldn't quite get to the puck to get a shot. The defenseman for the Maple Leafs coming back made a dandy play on him. Carl Gunnarsson.
You want to see that desperation on a play. Loose puck. Look at the effort. Keeps his feet moving. Gets inside position. He's already got down low center of gravity and doesn't go by the net. Stops on the net and creates this face-off in the offensive zone.
Comes in. 2:51 remaining. Shot around the boards by Murray for the Canadiens. Tap a little further. The Maple Leafs all try to find the puck in their own zone to get something going. Gallagher stopped it. Took a shot that hit a stick and went high. Desharnais has it to the far side. Centered it. Gallagher stopped. Gunnarsson watching him all the way and got the puck out to center ice for the Canadiens. show signs of coming alive now, having time to gain. Gunnarsson back in his own zone, stops behind the net. 2:16 remaining, and the Leafs on the move in a tie game. Pass intercepted at center. Dumped back in over the line, but the pass by Gianna didn't quite work. Lupa the other way with it. Got it in over the line to Riley, and he missed the net on that break coming in. He was flying, and a hard shot missed the goal. Now, Plekanec's long pass was good to center. Gianna tried to gallop inside, got the shot away, and Bernier stopped that. The two teams going for the win, no doubt about it, as they open up. Under 2 minutes left to play in the third. Canadians get back. The Leafs are changing. Open ice for a bit. Galchenyuk couldn't make the move at center. Now recovers. Got the puck ahead. Broken up. Brought back in. Again, Ben Ringsdorf can't get a shot. The Canadians. Eller. He was back. 1:30 remaining in the third period at the Bell Center in Montreal. What a finish we've got tonight for these two rivals. Ahead it goes, and Eller couldn't quite stop it. Gardiner is back for Toronto. Around the net for Van Riemsdyk over there on the far side. No dice. They have to go back again. It's Jake Gardiner being watched by Bourque, and he got the pass away. 1:05 remaining as the Leafs get as far as Canadian line. Bozak couldn't carry on, but on this side is going to be grabbed by Kessel. He'll rip it in. You heard it. We're in the final minute. Third period. 3-3 tie. Here comes Subban again. Up the center. Over the line again. They all chase him over there. And it's out of play. And the crowd settles back, but they're ready to roar.
One too many moves at the line, and PK's getting an earful again from the Leaf bench. A couple of good chances, though. Speed to the outside. Watch Gionta, one hand on his stick, quickly gets his hands together and gets a pretty good hard shot away. A bit of a rolling puck, but just too much puck movement here. One too many moves, a bouncing puck, and an offside that gives us a whistle.
48.7 seconds on the clock. The Desharnais line again. Pucks are ready. Shot on. Bernier stopped that, and he smothered the rebound so that no damage could be done by Gallagher coming to the net.
Another example of having to be ready off a face-off. And watch who wins the battle there. That's Mason Raymond's guy. You have to try to hold up and get in body position. Gallagher cuts through the middle, makes it happen, and Bernier does a nice job. He doesn't get control right away, but watch how quickly he's on top of that rebound and clearing it away. Gallagher, once again, has just been all around that net.
Surely now this will be the last changing made by the two coaches, Randy Carlyle, Michel Therrien, in a battle tonight for these 2 big points. Somebody wants to score before overtime is set up. Shutting out the other team, grabbing the 2 points. Phaneuf knows that, and he gets rid of the puck down the ice. That's icing. A while to call that one. They're going to bring it back, and another face-off in that same spot in the Leaf zone.
Well, it's been a battle in the face-off dot all night. The advantage early on was towards the Montreal Canadiens, but it's almost 50-50 right now, and Bozak has been the best of the Toronto Maple Leafs. 60% he is on the night.
He's against Plekanec. He's pretty good for the Canadiens. It goes to the corner. Gunnarsson flipped it back to the captain. He got it ahead to Kessel. Flipped it out. 30 seconds remaining. Hold it now. That went too high. And it's going to be a penalty.
Phil Kessel feeling pressure. We saw in the goal that was scored earlier, Kessel wasn't able to get a piece of the puck. And the shot went to the net there. He felt pressure, just tried to chip it off the glass. And look at how close this is. Hard to see. You saw the glass move, and that's what Dion Phaneuf was talking about. But watch, it's Markov's body that hits the glass, not the puck. The puck goes up and over, and just so very close. Almost hits on the backside there. Wow.
Kyle Raymond was the referee watching the play and called it. 30 seconds remaining in regulation time. Canadians now with the upper hand, you would think, with a man advantage. With the face-off win. With Subban with the puck. Pass goes the other way. The shot knocked down wide of the net. 23 seconds on the clock. Subban at the line. Quick pass. Back to Subban. No shot. He might now. Comes in. Take the shot. Now rolled it inside of the net. 10 seconds remaining in regulation. Canadians with the puck. Extra man. We're going to get overtime as it got away from Markov and came outside the line. And there is the siren that ends the third period. Leafs 3, Montreal 3. Subban tied it up on the power play at 10:52 after Kessel scored his 33rd goal at 7:43 of the period. It looked pretty good for Toronto at that time.
Now there's one I'm watching, Michel Therrien on the bench during this whole last sequence, and once again you win the draw, you get control, and you don't get a shot on goal. And here's an opportunity for Subban and Markov to trade quick passes and get a shot. Just again, too much action, faking shots, going down, handling it, overhandling it, and then at the end of the day, a saucer pass that bounces on Markov. And they had perfect chance at the end to make something happen.
You look at the clock and you see 1 minute 30 seconds on the Toronto penalty clock. That's to Kessel for his delay of game penalty in 1929 and a fraction. So a minute and a half left to serve. Let's see what happens in overtime as the Leafs and the Canadiens line up for the 2 points, and they'll be going at it, you know it. Montreal out shooting Toronto 26-24 in the game, but Toronto in the third period outshot the Canadiens 11-7.
A lot of discussion here. You don't practice all that often 4-on-3, and so a quick discussion between the Montreal Canadiens, Markov, Subban, Desharnais, Pacioretty, just to get clear. That's an interesting discussion right before, because you spend so much time on different things. 4-on-3 doesn't get a whole lot of attention, probably not as much as it should. You mentioned how important this game is. You're right. It comes at such a critical time. The Montreal Canadiens going on the road after this, and this is just how close it is. The Tampa Bay Lightning now are a point behind because Montreal guaranteed to at least get a point right now.
As do the Maple Leafs. And here we go at center ice to start it off. 4-on-3. Desharnais on the face-off. And he'll be against McClement, who's a great penalty killer for the Maple Leafs. Got to be at his best here, you would think. We're in overtime in this game tonight. Here we go. Ref drops it. It's shot in wide of the Canadian net. Budaj covered it anyway and left it for Markov. The quarterback comes on. Subban goes on. Across center, up over the line. Backhands the puck in deep. The goalie came out and missed it. Pacioretty gets it to the line, but no way Markov could get to that. Subban looks for room to go. It'll be passed back to Markov again. On the other side, they get the zone. Pacioretty hits for the net. Did get in. A scramble forward with the goalie down on one knee. Markov at the blue line. Looks to Subban. Leaves it right there for him. Markov, he's got a pretty good shot too. Nobody wants to go for the net. Maybe here. Subban off a skating way wide of the net. Desharnais will set him up again as he comes back to the puck. Out here to Markov. Markov over to Desharnais. Back to Subban. Stopped by Bernier. And the Leafs clear it out and down the ice. 30 seconds left in the Kessel penalty. To start overtime, Subban around the net, speeding away. Gonna go himself. No, he gives it to Markov. They get the zone, the setup in there to Gionda. Along the boards, time running down, 14 seconds left in the power play. They're watching Subban carefully. Subban, Markov, shot deflected high behind the net. The Leafs are hanging on here. That is Markov at the blue line. Penalty is over. He left it right there. Leafs have killed it off, but the puck is loose. Here comes Kessel turning. He's waiting for Kuhlman to make the move. Kuhlman comes on. Here's Kessel. Roll the puck ahead for the Maple Leafs as they attack now on 4-on-4 in overtime. Here's Kessel at the line. Dumps it in with defenseman Franson back up to the line. Gets set. Played it in. Turning with the puck. Kessel all over the place. Gets set. Shot. Oh, and it's stopped by Peter Budaj. Kessel, a great wrist shot low through a crowd, and Budaj saw it.
Now the only real chance on that power play by the Canadiens came on Pacioretty from a standstill, takes it hard to the net, tries to create a rebound there for Desharnais, but just goes by the net. Here's a little quick puck movement in the offensive zone. Kulemin finds himself all by himself as Markov was focused on the puck, didn't see the man in front, and an excellent move by Budaj to close his pad.
Nazem Kadri leans in, can win the faceoff in the Canadian zone. Gallagher jumps away. Down that far side, he loses a hit. The high shot coming off the glass. He's on it though. Keeping the puck in for Montreal is Eller. Gave it away with that pass. The Leafs get a 2-on-1 maybe. This is Lupul carrying it on goal. He missed a goal with that shot. Gallagher turns it quickly the other way, but 3 Leafs are on. He's nailed by Phaneuf and goes off to the Montreal bench. Good hit by Phaneuf. In come the Leafs. Gardner waits, plays it back as he fell. Leafs keep it in. Canadians can't find it. It's cleared out 1-on-1. Coming down Briere. He's coming in alone now. Backhander, got it again. He can't beat Bernier. He had the winner right there and couldn't pull it off. In comes Subban around the net. Subban, one hand on the stick, left it there, and the Leafs are going to break out. 2 minutes left. Down to center, Lupul. In over the line and drops it back. The defenseman coming up was the captain Phaneuf, and he dumped it in behind the net. So it'll be Subban, long pass, Briere, out comes Bernier, and he hangs on to that. Well, Briere could have ended this game on his last turn at the net. And right here, he was outguessed by Jonathan Bernier.
Wow, what a sequence at both ends. You take a chance 4-on-4, and it creates odd man rushes. You saw Josh Georges take a chance, created a 2-on-1. Lupul not able to get the shot that he wanted. Briere at the other end does a nice job. Gallagher gets knocked down by Phaneuf in the middle.
Dion Phaneuf has been very strong, Craig, for the Toronto Maple Leafs in these last few shifts.
Briere had a chance to end the game twice, and he did a great job of stopping on the net. But Bernier, see that left pad, he was able to get a hold of the rebound and keep it out. Bernier is going to get a penalty here for coming out and grabbing that puck, Bob. At the end of the play, he came flying out. You got to make this play. He's well out of his crease all the way out to the dot, and he's getting the penalty because of it.
Smothered the puck way out. Minor penalty. The Leafs have killed off everything in overtime. They started short. They're short again with 1:46 remaining in the overtime, or something less. So you can't say the Canadians have not had their chances to win this hockey game tonight, especially Briere on his last shift when it appeared he had the winner.
And the problem here is that it has to be somebody who was on the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs to take the penalty. Holland wasn't. The Leafs trying to get him in, and they're going to have to bring somebody else who was on the ice, and that'll be a key player. And Randy Carlyle right now hesitant to put anyone in. And for that matter, why bother? There's only 1:46 left anyways. Nobody's coming out. If a goal is scored, this game's over. If not, it's going to expire anyway. Joffrey Lupul ends up being the one as the officials came with a list of who was there.
Yep, and here he comes, and we'll get play underway. That's it. Lupul will serve the penalty. What's left of it, 1:46 showing on the clock. The Canadians get a face-off again inside the Leaf line. And it's Desharnais again winning. So Subban sets it up. Markov plays it the other way. Subban stayed open back there. There's Subban. After the shot is right in front of the net. Score! Pacioretty wins a game for the Canadians. Wide open and fires a bullet. Montreal wins in overtime. A dandy tonight at the Bell Center. Not so great for Randy and the Leafs, but a great night for the Canadians.
Bob, it's not a call that you see all that often, but it's the right call. a chance. Bernier smothers the puck out by the dot. He gets a delay of game call. And watch, Subban gets set up for the one-timer. And he's unfortunately breaks his stick, but it ends up working out perfectly. Goes right to Markov. Markov, a no-look pass. Bernier, a sprawling effort to try to stop a rocket by Pacioretty. And this one is ended with a great power play goal.
Well, the Canadians got their chances, and it didn't look like it was going to be anything good tonight. But finally, this goal at 3:28 of overtime by Pacioretty, and the Canadians win the game. Started slowly so many hours ago, but it caught up, and we had a dandy tonight.